let's talk about workplace chaos. I mean, we've all been there, right? Today, we're going to take a look at a tool that promises to just slice right through all of that confusion. Its whole motto is simple: move work forward. So let's see if it actually delivers. So to kick things off, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had that sinking feeling when a project is just stuck? You know, approvals are delayed and nobody's quite sure who's supposed to do what next? Yeah, that feeling is a universal frustration, and it's the exact problem we're going to tackle today. These right here are the classic symptoms of a workflow that's just completely broken. You've got important files buried in these never-ending email threads, total confusion over who owns what task, projects hitting a brick wall just waiting for a single signature, and of course, invoices getting paid late. Oh, and let's not forget client requests flying in from every direction with no central hub to manage them. It's basically organized chaos, if you can even call it organized. So what's the fix? Well, the solution we're digging into is Pyrus. It's a platform that promises to be that one single source of truth, that one place to bring structure and, honestly, momentum back to your work. At its heart, the idea is actually pretty simple, but wow, is it powerful. It's all about bringing order to the two things that cause the most chaos: your team's communication and the processes they have to follow day in and day out. So how does this thing actually work? Let's start with the absolute foundation: getting your work organized so you can finally get things done. It all starts with the task. Instead of some vague idea just floating around in a chat or an email, Pyrus helps you create something that is clear, concrete, and totally actionable. This is the basic building block for literally everything else. And you know what? Creating one could not be easier. You just start with an idea, you give it a very clear objective and a deadline, so there is zero ambiguity. Then you pull in the people who need to be involved. And for those bigger, more complicated jobs, you can just break them down into smaller, manageable subtasks. And just like that, a huge project suddenly feels achievable. Now this is a huge shift in how we think about communication. I mean, think about it. Instead of those scattered chats where conversations always get derailed, every single message in Pyrus is anchored directly to a specific task. This keeps all communication focused. It gets rid of those confusing, overlapping threads, and it documents every decision right where the work is actually happening. But just organizing tasks? That's only the beginning. The real power, the real magic, comes when you start to automate all those repetitive processes that eat up so much of your team's precious time. So let's look at how you can put your routine work on autopilot. This all happens through something called workflow automation. Now, don't let the name scare you. It's really just a simple way to map out your process. You create a form for information, you define who needs to approve it and in what order, and you add the people involved. The most important part, you can do all of this in minutes with absolutely no coding required. Let's make this real with an example pretty much every business has to deal with: accounts payable. You know, that whole process of getting an invoice, getting it approved, and then finally making the payment, it can be a massive bottleneck. With a Pyrus workflow, you can set up custom rules for approvals, have it automatically checked invoices against purchase orders, and even get reports that instantly show you where things are getting stuck. Plus, it integrates with the accounting systems you're probably already using anyway. And hey, it's not just for internal stuff either. Think about a service desk. You can use Pyrus to pull in all your client requests from a bunch of different channels, all into one organized queue. That ensures every customer gets a quick and consistent response. Now, in today's world, work isn't confined to a single desk or office, right? Your office is wherever you are. So let's see how Pyrus makes your work accessible no matter where you happen to be. First up, files. All those crucial documents, spreadsheets, and presentations can be attached right to your tasks. And it supports the tools you're already using: Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, OneDrive. You just paste a link and that file is connected directly to the work. Simple as that. This is where you get true flexibility. Pyrus works across all your devices: your laptop, your phone, even your smartwatch. But here's the real game changer: it works when you're offline. Everything just syncs up the next time you connect, so you never, ever lose your momentum. So we have covered a lot. Let's bring it all together and just summarize the key advantages that make Pyrus such a compelling solution for all this workplace chaos. Okay, here it is in a nutshell. It brings together your tasks and your communication, so your conversations always have context. It lets you automate those boring, repetitive workflows without needing to hire a developer. It plays nicely with the tools you're already familiar with, and it gives you the freedom to get to your work from anywhere, on any device you want. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most surprising point. What does it cost to get started with all this? Well, the answer on this slide pretty much says it all. Zero. That's right. Pyrus offers a free plan for an unlimited number of users, which is an absolutely incredible way for any team of any size to get started without any barriers. And that brings us full circle, right back to their core mission. Every single feature we've talked about, from the structured tasks to the no-code automation, is all designed with one single goal in mind: moving work forward. So the final question is for you. When you look at the bottlenecks and the chaos in your own work, are you ready to transform all of that into clarity? Pyrus definitely presents a compelling case for how to do just that. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.